Five novels featuring human-like animals. Number 5. Mrs. Frisby and the Rats of Nime, Robert O'Brien. Winner of the 1972 Newbery Medal, Nime centers around Mrs. Frisby and her children. Her youngest son, Timothy, has come down with pneumonia and cannot be moved, but the nearby farmer is about to till up the field where she lives, thus presenting a dilemma. Her recently departed husband belonged to a brotherhood of rats. Only 2 mice belonged to this order, her dead husband, and Mr. Ages. With help of the latter and a clumsy crow named Jeremy, she seeks help from the rats. These rats have been injected with a superintelligence-type serum from the menacing presence known as NIME, National Institute for Mental Health. Number 4. Redwall, Brian Jacques. Redwall is a huge fantasy series, of which, admittedly, I have only read the first, and that when I was a child. It is so immensely popular, though, I could not see leaving it out of this list. I have put it on hold at the local library so I can reread it. Redwall itself is a sort of gathering place where animals of the area can come and seek refuge in times of trouble. The original book tells the story of Matthias and his battle with Clooney the Scourge. Clooney is a rat who sets up camp with his cronies in town and begins causing trouble for Matthias and other local inhabitants. Matthias goes on a quest to retrieve a legendary sword to lead an uprising against Clooney and his cohorts. You shall have to read the book to see how it turns out. Number 3. The Guardians of Gale, Catherine Lasky. This book series starts off in the nest of Soren and his family. Soren is a barn owl who is just starting off in life. He has an older brother named Claude and a younger sister named Eglantine. Without spoiling too much of the story, Soren ends up out of his nest and, unable to fly, he is helpless. He ends up being owl-napped by a band of rogue owls, who have been committing acts of wanton owl-napping all over the countryside. They are brainwashing young owlets to do their bidding and start an army. With the help of a friend, Soren escapes and embarks on a quest to find the legendary Guardians of Gale, to save Owlkind. Number 2. Charlotte's Web, E.B. White. Charlotte's Web centers around Wilbur the pig, his owner, Fern, and Charlotte the spider. Wilbur is a runt and is nearly killed by Fern's father before she rescues him. She raises him in her yard until he reaches the point where it is no longer sensible to keep him as a pet. Wilbur is then sent to a nearby uncle's farm so Fern can still visit him. In his new surroundings, Wilbur meets lots of barnyard creatures. Some of them are friendly, and some are downright rude, at first. They are the ones who reveal to him that he will soon be eaten by the farmer and his family. Well, this just sends Wilbur into hysterics, until he is calmed by Charlotte, a spider who resides in the barn and who hatches a plan to save Wilbur's life. Number 1. The Fantastic Mr. Fox, Roald Dahl. The title character in this children's novel is as sly as his name implies. I do not recollect whether or not we ever learn his first name. Mr. Fox lives underground with his wife and children, and feeds them by stealing from 3 very curmudgeonly farmers. The farmers catch on to his games and try several different means to thwart his efforts, all without success. In his nightly raids, Mr. Fox comes across other burrowing animals in need of sustenance. They join forces and eventually become involved in a fairly organized crime family.